On 1st and 10. Pressure's coming. Richardson slips. Now he's airing it out. Deep down the field for Pierce. Pierce! Touchdown! What a throw by Richardson!
We're going to look at Alec Pierce down here at the bottom, and he's a guy that they're looking to get the ball deep to. And watch how he gets rolling. And he's not just beating the rookie Kamari Lassiter on the other side. That's Derek Sting.
It's down there. It comes out to the 20. And if it goes out of bounds or it's kicked short of the landing zone, it goes out to the 40-yard line. As Richardson crosses the 40 and picks up a first down for Indianapolis. Richardson steps up. He's got some room to run, and he's got the first down and more into Houston territory and dragged down at the 40-yard line. Richardson over the middle, caught by Ashton Doolin. He's got room to run. Doolin at the 10, 5, touchdown! A 54-yard touchdown!
Ashton Doolin's running a dig after coming in motion, and that is tight. Gets it there with some pace before the defender can get his hands out.
3rd and 15. Richardson has time, loads up, going deep. Pierce is down there, and it is caught by Pierce. Again, Richardson deep to Alec Pierce. Not only does he not kick, but they huddle up. Play clock at 3. Richardson on 4th and goal takes off. Is he going to get there? Fighting his way, and he's in for a touchdown. Whew. But there's only 2:14 left.
Talked a lot about C.J. Stroud. Anthony Richardson, you talk about a prime-time player, a guy willing to throw his body in there and make a play when they need it.
Raw completion percentage, but they got to find a way to get some, but it's going to be hard with these safeties playing so deep.
Yeah, today, low batting average and no slug. Looking for some here, A.B. Mitchell.
Passing game, you mentioned, made his mark as a returner. He's been a great find.
Richardson zips one, second level, nice throw. Alec Pierce inside the 45 and a gain of 19. Richardson steps up, needs the 4-yard line. Does he have enough speed? Diving for the pylon. Let's see where they spot him.
I think he's got it. Tip of the ball.
They'll throw it. Richardson given time, floating for the back of the end zone, and Alec Pierce, touchdown Colts. He was wide open, and Indy finally finds the end zone.
It'll be an onside kick. They don't recover it. They can still get the ball back, but they can only stop it twice. So onside kick has really become a non-factor. And remember, with the new kickoff rule, you have to declare the onside kick.
Scrambles, sets the feet. Now he runs. 10 seconds left. Richardson across the 40. He's at least setting up a chance to show off that gift of an arm, isn't he?
3rd and 10. Richardson taking a deep shot down the field. Pierce is there at the 10 and down to the 5. 44 yards, Richardson to Pierce. At USC, he had 3.5 sacks, so he gets him again here. Richardson will keep this one. Richardson at the 10, lowers his shoulder, 1st and goal, Colts.
Simple zone read to Jonathan Taylor, gets Montez Sweat to go for the fake and just runs through Byard to get down to the 2-yard line.
Of this elite Pittsburgh defense. Fakes the give to Taylor. Richardson steps up. Protected. Dangerous pass. It's caught. Michael Pittman with a snatch. One of the great venues in the sport. Downtown Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium. Second drive for Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Throws another dart. It's Pittman. Second catch. Had the 42-yarder on the first drive where Richardson threaded the needle.
Mitchell in motion. Play action. Richardson, a clean pocket to the sideline and a sliding catch by Adonai Mitchell inside the Miami 30. Dolphins bring pressure. Richardson steps up, able to break free. Richardson on the run. He's got running room. He's got a first down. And Richardson lowering the shoulder and barreling into Jordan Poyer.
Unbelievable. And he says, listen, if I'm one-on-one and it's a defensive back, I'm taking him on. But we talked about it, right? 2 of his injuries have come from taking on defensive back.
Richardson will try again. And he finds his man. It's open, and it's Pittman. And Pittman across the Dolphin 40. Timeout is used as he's down at the 36-yard line. Richardson will run a designed quarterback run inside the 20, and Richardson with a first down at the 16-yard line of Miami.
Great play call, and just this is what you have to see from Anthony Richardson. You have to see him execute this, right? Watch him get down at the end right there. He's not going to take Jordan Poyer on. He's got 2 other guys coming in from the side. You know, don't expose yourself to a big hit at the end of the run.
From the 27-yard line on first down, Richardson to throw. To the sideline, coming back to get it is Adonai Mitchell. And that's something that Anthony Richardson really appreciates about Joe Flacco. Richardson stands in the pocket, and he threads it in to Michael Pittman. That'll be a first down. Who went right over that.
2nd and 9. Richardson keeps it. Now steps up, looking deep. Has a wide open man. Josh Downs. Nobody in sight. And Downs will go. Touchdown, Colts. A 69-yard touchdown.
So Alec Pierce is going this way, Josh Downs is going this way, and watch Jalen Petrie right here, just as he gets into contact and he's following him over the top. He runs into the defender, or runs to the offensive player, which creates a
4th down and 3. Downs in motion. Richardson rolling right, following the block of Smith, and he picks up the first down. The right tackle, Braden Smith, leading the way for Richardson, and a gain of 12. 3rd down and 10. Richardson has Downs down there. Downs! He's got it! What a catch! To review.
See if he comes down. Yeah, it looks like he's got it. Doesn't touch the ground. So that ball is all catch.
Ball is at the 9-yard line. Richardson looking deep. Now comes back and he'll run it. Richardson at the 20. Can he get out of bounds? Cannot. And that's a mistake. Richardson with a big run for 26, but the clock continues to tick. 3rd down and 8. Pressure coming. Richardson looking deep. Downs is open, and he makes the catch. What a catch by Josh Downs. A 31-yard pickup on 3rd and long. Richardson keeps it himself, trying to get to the outside. Stiff arm on Clemens. Richardson takes it in. A bruising touchdown run for Anthony Richardson.
But how he starts it, this is a defensive end, and Michael Clemens coming to tackle him. Stiff arms him and then puts his shoulder down right at the goal line. My goodness, that's one heck of a run by Anthony Richardson.
Ouch.
3rd down and 13. Richardson over the middle, and he's got Downs for the first down. Another pass, 6th straight on this drive. Alec Pierce is open. It was his former teammate at Cincinnati, Sauce Gardner, who had the coverage. Richardson to Downs at the 5, reaches, and he's in. Touchdown. What a drive by Richardson. And the Colts will keep the offense on the field to go for 2. Richardson pump fakes, now taking a deep shot for Pierce. He's open. Pierce is tackled at the 30. Jalen Mills saved a touchdown.
This is an excellent job of a pump and a go right there, understanding and watching how they're playing defense. Pierce catches a long one.
On 1st and 10, Downs on the slant to the 10-yard line. What a throw by Richardson. In-stadium scoreboard still has the Jets with no timeouts remaining. Colts with all three. 55 seconds to go. It's 3rd and goal. Richardson running left. Blockers ahead. Richardson gets in! Touchdown! His second rushing touchdown of the day. And the Colts pull ahead.
Running through. This is just off the left edge. Sweep to the left. QB sweep. Go block Ashton Doolin. Anthony Richardson will take care of the rest.
And a week ago, they struggled in the red zone to be able to score touchdowns. This week, we've seen Anthony.
On 3rd down, it's Richardson, picks up the first and more. Anthony Richardson takes it all the way down to the Lions' 12-yard line. He gains 17 on 3rd down and 1.
By far the best division in the NFC.
2nd down and 1. As Richardson goes deep, and it is caught by Pierce. Gain of 40.
What a throw. Anthony Richardson puts it right on the money, over the shoulder for Alec Pierce, and they are attacking Kendall Vildor every chance they get. They know it's going to be a lot of man, and they're sending guys. This is a tall task for these rookies to consistently beat this defensive line every play.
Nelson, a 6-time Pro Bowler. Richardson throws. Nice catch. Pittman breaks free. Picks up a 1st down. Spins out to midfield. So Pittman, who was shaken up earlier, had the shoulder looked at, makes the catch for a gain of 30. Empty backfield. Taylor split out to the right. Pittman makes the catch. 1st down and more. Michael Pittman start from their 30. Richardson takes off. We saw a lot of this on their opening possession today. Stays on his feet. Spins. Still going. And he is finally knocked out of bounds by Rodriguez.
He took on Brian Branch, who's their enforcer in the secondary, runs right through that tackle, runs through another 3 tackles before Malcolm Rodriguez gets him out of bounds. There's no way to bring those linebackers up and create wider holes in the zones if you don't have play action.
Richardson, nice catch, Pittman. And then he's knocked out of bounds by Branch, and a flag is thrown on the late hit.
So this impressive game-opening drive for Indy continues. Richardson throwing on the run, completes. That's the tight end, Drew Ogletree, trying to atone for that drop last week and what would have been a surefire touchdown.
Those interior linemen doing a nice job.
Free blitzer coming straight up the gut. Richardson miraculously gets it out in time, and it's a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor. On 3rd and 2, little bobble. Richardson recovering, and he's got a 1st down and more. Richardson taking on all comers.
He's been a major part of the point of attack and really playing a nice game so far against what I think are 2 good inside players.
Richardson in for the Indianapolis touchdown.
Right here, Gonzalez. Watch the combination. Watch how Glowinski, he reaches. I can't quite see exactly who that was. You really got to watch design quarterback run or a run-pass option.
Richardson, here they come. Peppers giving chase. Richardson completes. 1st down, Colts. And their defense hold. 4th and 2, Colts.
I think you got to find Pittman if you throw it.
Designed run. Everyone expected it. Richardson has the 1st down nonetheless.
Watch them pick for Taylor to the flat.
Richardson looking. Richardson, end zone. It is caught for the Indianapolis touchdown. Alec Pierce able to squeeze it, putting it all on the shoulders of his 2nd-year quarterback, Anthony Richardson.
You get Pierce, it starts with protection. It takes a long time for Pierce to come from the other side. Excellent catch in contested situation against Kyle Duggar. And then you want to get your 2-point conversion. What do? You run your big quarterback.
Feels like this is his best chance right here. Going for 2 in the lead. Richardson pulls it back. Richardson bangs bangs it in, and the Indianapolis Colts have taken the lead.
The easy completions.
Tough down the distance, 3rd and 10. Richardson slinging one and completes. 10th play of the drive for the Colts. This is Richardson, the sleight of hand. He's got the room. Richardson in. Touchdown. And the Indianapolis Colts throw down the gauntlet here in Denver.
Because you have motion coming from downs going to the left. You have Pittman coming from the right. You have the zone read, so you have the edge rushers is caught in no man's. Is going to be huge for a young quarterback.
Richardson on 3rd and 5 over the middle and again threads the needle. How about this start from Richardson? He finds Pittman over the middle.
For 315 yards, most of it because of communication error.
Richardson rips it back. Richardson, boy, he is a daunting player staring down at defense. And what they've had to contend with over the last month. Do they have some late game magic up their sleeve? Richardson completes. Finding Granson, who takes a hard hit at the end of that play from P.J. Locke. 5:09 left in regulation here. Denver Broncos looking for what would be a 4th straight win. Richardson, wobbly pass, gets it to Gould.
On 1st down, Richardson will keep it himself. Richardson running to his right. He explodes through the defense. And he stiff arms his way out of bounds inside the 15. Amani Hooker eventually made the tackle.
Watch the way he makes Kenneth Murray miss. I mean, Kenneth Murray totally whiffed. He had him on.
Nope, to the left. He's got blockers. Moves the pile into the end zone. Goes in standing. Touchdown, Richardson. His 6th rushing touchdown of the year. On 3rd down and 5. Richardson looking long. Richardson has a man. It's caught. A.D. Mitchell reeled it in. Downs near side. And he's got the 1st down and more. He explodes into the end zone. They missed the tackle on 2 occasions.
Going to get the 1st down. I like the play because you have the numbers, so just quickly get it out. Good throw by Richardson, but just make the tackle. You might stop him. If nothing else, it's right there, and it's an easy walk-in.